Hello, today we're going to be talking about 5 potential characters that we may be seeing in Mafia Roll Country. So first off, obviously we don't know if these characters are going to be making a reappearance, but these are the characters that I would 100% like to see. And I mean, it only makes sense because of the time period, but yeah, let's get right into it. So firstly, Frank Vinci. It's a must, isn't it? So he's got one of the most interesting backgrounds, but it's never ever actually been utilised. He was born in 1885 to a prominent mafioso family member, Vincenzo Vinci, which is very promising already considering he would be in his early 20s during the time of Mafia Roll Country. And connected to the Mafia already at a young age, he eventually immigrated to Empire Bay in 1908, same as Salieri and Francoletti. It's known that Salieri and Vinci are close friends, so their history in Sicily might be linked to the beginning of Mafia, the Old Country. So 1000% I'd like to see Frank. It'd be amazing to see his background and how he started on his criminal life. Again, we can't wish for everything, I suppose, but I mean, if it's set in Sicily and they're in their early 20s and it's probably the prominent time that they started becoming criminals, then I would 100% say that Frank Vinci would be making an appearance. But again, that's all down to the developers at the end of the day. Of course, if we have Frank Vinci, we need his right-hand man, Leo Galante. He's number 2. Again, roughly the same age as Vinci, putting him as a young man in Sicily, possibly learning the ropes from his friend. He also immigrated to Empire Bay in 1908, which would be perfect for the connections to other games that Leo would make an appearance as a younger version of himself. Again, he's appeared in Mafia 2, Mafia 3, DE as a cigarette card. It's only so sure that we've put him in the prequel as well. It'd be nice to see the roots of the career along mobsters, where he and Frank got the tools to start the Vinci family in America, but only being associates of the Teresi family. Could be, could not. But this links us on to our third choice, Ennio Salieri, the man who doesn't need any introduction. So he grew up in Sicily during the time of Mafia Roll Country. Ennio would be a young adult, same as Francoletti and Vinci and Leo. Eventually, they also immigrate to the US in 1908, which we could potentially see young Ennio Salieri starting his criminal career in San Celeste under the Teresi's clan. This would all depend on if Peppone was a member of the Teresi family, which we'll get into in a minute, or in his own family, which would be quite interesting because Salieri is one of them ones we don't really know his background apart from until he got to Lost Heaven, so it would be quite interesting to see what he's like in the Old Country, as they say. So coming at 4th, we've got Luigi Marino, once feared hitman in Lost Heaven, now imprisoned bartender that is a shadow of his former self. Luigi could make an appearance as a Sicilian hitman associated with the Teresi family, but I would like to think that he had to start somewhere before he got to Lost Heaven. I mean, way better than Sicily working for the Mafia as a hitman. Yeah, but it would be good to see him in action as an independent or even connected to the Teresi family. I would like to see more of him, but I'm not 1000% that he would make an appearance for being such a minor character. And I could explain how we come to meet Ennio Salieri and becoming really loyal to him. This is Hangar 13's opportunity to expand on loads of characters that we've once seen and we don't really know a lot about. See them in the heyday, like Vinci and Leo, and could be Luigi, who knows. Coming at 5th, got obviously Don Peppone. As we remember, he's the old Don in Mafia that used to be Salieri and Morello's boss during the events prior to Mafia. So he was an old Sicilian mobster who immigrated to Lost Heaven before starting his own family, becoming the largest organisation in the city in the early 1910s. But before this happened, we don't know a lot about Peppone or how far his reach is to become so powerful in a new country. But a perfect way to integrate him into the story would be being a high member of the Teresi family, or even owning a rival family, then had to retreat to the USA when the Teresi family began to take over. So we definitely need an insight into his backstory as well, which would be quite interesting. These are all characters we don't really know much about. We've got the information, but we have not seen any evidence to say these characters are high regarded as they are within the community. So that's the 5, but I've got 2 bonus ones which I found quite interesting. So the 2 Silvios. So you've got Silvio Clemente and Silvio Tomasino. So firstly, we'll start with Clemente. He's the uncle of Alberto Clemente, the Don from Mafia 2, and Frido Clemente, as we were introduced in Mafia DE as the cigarette card, and also the brother of Alberto. So Silvio, he was a powerful Sicilian mafioso that had his nephew kill a police captain in 1920. Again, this is a couple of years of when the game would be set, but we could have this beginning of Silvio's story and how he became to be a part of the Teresi's family, leading on to the events that would kickstart, leading into the Mafia 2, 40 years later. Again, we could have Silvio as part of the Teresi family, and then expand into his own family, possibly. Or just even being a high member of the Teresi family, which would be enough pull to even get his nephew to America and set him up, basically, to start his own family. On the other hand, we have Silvio Tomasino, who was Henry Tomasino's dad, another powerful and respected mafioso in Sicily during the 1900s. He had connections to Silvio Clemente and eventually became friends with his nephew, Alberto, eventually sending Henry to America in 1931. This could be another character who, if utilised correctly, could be a great use and another connection to the games. Again, Henry Tomasino is one of them badass characters that we don't really know much about, and is very ambiguous of being a rat. So definitely put some respect towards the character to make his father a legend. But again, it's up to Hangar 13. I mean, they had the great opportunity to do this in Mafia DE, but absolutely wasted. So I just hope that Hangar 13 actually just tried to make some references or connections to any other games. They didn't really touch on it during DE or Mafia 3 as much as they could have. But that's just me being hopeful. But yeah, comment below who you would like to see in the Mafia Old Country. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Okay, we're good.